The most traumatic near-extinctions and conservation comebacks in history. The relentless march of progress often leaves behind a trail of silence. For too many species, the sound of their last breath is the only sound history records. Yet, in the face of oblivion, some have clawed their way back. Welcome to the front line of the survival war. Today, we're counting down our picks for the most desperate near-extinctions and the most spectacular conservation comebacks on this planet. These are the stories of creatures pulled back from the absolute void. Number 20. The American bison. They once blackened the plains, numbering in the tens of millions. The American bison was the living heart of the Great Plains ecosystem. But a systematic slaughter in the 19th century drove their population down to barely 750 individuals. They were hunted to the brink of total annihilation. Thanks to the efforts of conservationists and ranchers, the species was saved, though in scattered herds. Their survival is a stark reminder of how quickly abundance can turn to absence. Number 19. The black rhino, Rhinoceros bicornis. A symbol of Africa's ancient might, the black rhino was decimated by poaching, which peaked dramatically in the 1970s and 80s. Number 18. The snow leopard, Panthera uncia. A ghost of the high mountains of Central Asia, this magnificent cat is elusive and solitary. Habitat fragmentation and poaching for its spectacular coat drove its numbers down across its vast range. Conservationists were forced to use satellite collars and camera traps to even begin to understand and protect this secret species. Its future remains tenuous, threatened by climate change melting its alpine habitat. Number 17. The Arabian oryx, Oryx leucoryx. The Arabian oryx was the victim of overhunting across the Arabian Peninsula. By 1972, the last wild individual was tragically killed. This species was officially extinct in the wild. The only survivors were in zoos and private collections. In one of the most successful reintroduction programs ever, the oryx was brought back to the wild in the 1980s. It's a spectacular victory, proving that complete annihilation is not always inevitable. Number 16. The whooping crane, Grus americana. North America's tallest bird, the whooping crane, once nested across the continent. By 1941, habitat loss and hunting had reduced the wild population to just 15 birds. A devastating bottleneck. Scientists stepped in, using captive breeding and even teaching young cranes migratory routes by following ultralight aircraft. This species now numbers over 800, a truly iconic symbol of human intervention saving a majestic bird. Number 15. The giant panda, Ailuropoda melanoleuca. The giant panda has always been rare, but habitat destruction pushed it into isolated fragments of bamboo forest. This species became the global icon of conservation crisis. Years of intense effort by China, including massive habitat reserve expansion and complex breeding programs, finally paid off. In 2021, the giant panda was downgraded from endangered to vulnerable, a landmark victory that shows sustained international effort works. Number 14. The scimitar-horned oryx, Oryx dama. Another oryx species driven to extinct in the wild status by 2000 due to overhunting and desertification in North Africa. Like its Arabian cousin, it was saved by captive breeding. In 2016, a massive reintroduction project began in Chad, releasing animals back into their ancient Saharan range. This is a dramatic attempt to restore a large herbivore to one of the world's harshest environments. Number 13. The golden lion tamarin, Leontopithecus rosalia. This tiny, vibrant primate is endemic to Brazil's Atlantic forest, a habitat that was reduced by 98%. The tamarin population plummeted to just a few hundred individuals. Number 12. The kakapo, Strigops haebreptilis, the world's only flightless nocturnal parrot. The kakapo was nearly wiped out by invasive predators introduced to New Zealand. By the 1990s, only 50 individuals remained. The kakapo recovery program moved the entire population to predator-free offshore islands. Every single living kakapo is now known, tracked, and protected. Their total population has recently surpassed 250, a slow, painstaking triumph. Number 11. The Przewalski's horse, Equus ferus przewalski. The last truly wild horse, the Przewalski's horse, was declared extinct in the wild in the 1960s. The entire surviving population was in zoos, descended from just 12 individuals. This was the ultimate genetic bottleneck. Through dedicated breeding and reintroduction to its native Mongolian steppes, wild herds are now thriving. It is a stunning example of bringing a magnificent mammal back from the dead. Number 10. The giant ibis, Thaumaptibus giganta, a national bird of Cambodia. The giant ibis is the world's largest ibis. Its population crashed due to widespread deforestation and hunting during decades of conflict. Its global population is estimated to be fewer than 200 individuals. Every breeding pair is now a major focus of protection, highlighting the devastating impact of regional instability on wildlife. Number 9. The European bison, Bison bonusus. The largest land mammal in Europe, this species was hunted to extinction in the wild. The very last wild specimen was killed in the Caucasus in 1927. Similar to the Przewalski's horse, all surviving individuals were in zoos. A successful breeding program has now seen thousands of these majestic animals roam free in forests across Poland, Belarus, and other countries. The wilderness of Europe has been slowly reclaiming its king. Number 8. The humpback whale, Megaptera nova anglia. The humpback whale was hunted to near extinction by commercial whaling in the 20th century. Globally, their numbers dropped by an estimated 90%. In the 1960s, a moratorium on commercial whaling saved them. The North Pacific population has since recovered so strongly that it was delisted from the U.S. Endangered Species Act, a monumental recovery for a massive marine giant. Number 7. The California Condor, Gymnogyps californianus. By 1987, the wild population of California condors had dropped to a critical low of 22 birds. In a desperate, controversial move, the remaining wild individuals were captured to start a massive captive breeding program. The crisis was primarily driven by lead poisoning from scavenger consumption. Their population now numbers over 500, with more than half flying free, a powerful testament to the necessity of drastic action. Number 6. The blue-eyed black lemur, Eulemur flavifrons, one of the most beautiful and critically endangered primates. This lemur from Madagascar is the only primate, besides humans, with truly blue eyes. Its habitat is being destroyed by slash-and-burn agriculture. Its population has crashed so severely that it is considered one of the 25 most endangered primates in the world. Their survival depends entirely on tiny, isolated forest remnants. Number 5. The Yangtze finless porpoise, Neophacaene asiorientalis, often called the river panda. This is the only freshwater porpoise in the Yangtze River and the only remaining cetacean in this ecosystem after the functional extinction of the Beiji dolphin. Its numbers have been devastated by pollution, vessel traffic, and illegal fishing. With only about 1,000 individuals remaining, every birth is a massive event. They face a relentless, invisible war against pollution. Number 4. The Saiga antelope, Saiga tatarica, known for its bizarre, bulbous nose. This antelope once roamed across Central Asia in vast herds. It has survived ice ages, but human poaching after the collapse of the Soviet Union decimated its numbers. Then, in 2015, a terrifying mass die-off killed over 200,000 animals in just weeks due to a bacterial infection. Despite these devastating setbacks, rigorous anti-poaching and monitoring efforts are slowly rebuilding the fractured herds. Number 3. The cross-river gorilla, Gorilla dealey, the rarest gorilla subspecies in the world. The cross-river gorilla is confined to a tiny, fragmented range between Nigeria and Cameroon. Decades of poaching and human encroachment have reduced its population to fewer than 250 individuals. Its low numbers and fragmented populations make it incredibly vulnerable to inbreeding and disease. This is a species clinging to life in small, desperate pockets of jungle. Number 2. The vaquita, Phocaena sinus. The world's rarest marine mammal, the vaquita, is a tiny porpoise found only in the shallow waters of the Gulf of California. Its plight is the result of accidental death in illegal gill nets set for the totoba fish. With an estimated fewer than 10 individuals remaining, the vaquita is on the absolute precipice. It is a terrifying race against time, where the loss of a single animal is a catastrophe for the entire species. Honorable mentions before we unveil our top pick. Here are a few other dramatic struggles for survival. The stellar sea lion, Eumetopius jubatus. Once threatened across its range, populations in the U.S. are now recovering strongly thanks to protection. The Lord Howe Island stick insect, Trichosalus australis, thought extinct, rediscovered on a single tiny rock stack. A genuine resurrection. The Sumatran rhino, Dicerhorhinus sumatrensis, critically endangered with fewer than 80 individuals. Every single one is vital to the future of the species. The wild water buffalo, Bubalus arni, reduced to only a few thousand, mostly in isolated reserves in India and Nepal, facing constant habitat pressure. Number 1. The Northern White Rhinoceros, Ceratotherium simum cotoni. Meet Fatu and Najin. These two female rhinos are the last of their kind. They live under 24-hour armed guard in Kenya. The male line is extinct. Poaching drove this subspecies to functional extinction. Their survival now rests entirely on groundbreaking, expensive IVF and stem cell technology. A desperate, last-ditch effort to create embryos using stored sperm from deceased males. This is the most dramatic, desperate conservation story on Earth. A species whose future is not in the wild, but in a laboratory, hoping to be born again. Which of these dramatic comebacks gives you the most hope? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through survival and near oblivion, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.